I'm Bill McMinn. This is Way to Go podcast. Along with me, my lovely wife, Jeri. And we're going to talk about my favorite verse. This is an awesome verse. I love it, actually.
It is a good one.
It's a good one. It's
a great one.
It's a great one. And it takes me forever to find some things that are cool. And I love Ecclesiastes, but I was always tuned into other verses. And then this one really caught my eye in the last couple of years. Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love all the days of this meaningless life that God has given you under the sun, all your meaningless days, for this is your lot in life and in your toilsome labor under the sun. Enjoy life with your wife. Theme verse. I love it.
Enjoy it. It's good.
So what do you think about that?
I like it better than the meaningless part.
Oh,
yeah.
You like the enjoy life part better than your life is meaningless?
Everything's meaningless.
Well, it is meaningless, and there's a lot of things that don't count. There's a lot of things we get caught up in. We don't need to be getting caught up in, and we should be just appreciating what we have.
Yeah, I agree. Just enjoy the ride of life as you go, because I think sometimes we get so caught up in all of the tedious things of life that we just forget to have fun.
Yeah, well, that's probably a very true statement. We do forget to have fun sometimes because we're getting caught up in making life all about work and projects and responsibilities and projects and all these things. And I think you can't make your marriage about just the business of being married or being roommates. I mean, you got to do things that are fun together. But I want to talk about this word for a minute because I looked this up, enjoy life with your wife. And the word actually comes from a Hebrew word, ra'ah, which means to see, and it was used of the prophets. So the seers that we would hear about in the Bible, the people that would get a prophetic message so that they would be able to see into the future, that was part of it. And then it came to talk about experience, so that it would like taste and see that the Lord is good.
Right.
Experience God. And so then the word comes here, like you need to experience life. And I think what Solomon's saying is like, look, you know, he's caught up in building projects. He's caught up in ruling his government and all the things that are going on. And he had failed as he got older, and he's looking back, he realizes, man, I didn't take the time just to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And to experience. So when you think about the word's base of meaning to see, to experience, to learn, to understand, to come to know kind of idea is you need to take the time to think about your life. You need to take the time, think about life. See your life, appreciate your life and all the things that you have. And so you look at the ESV, NIV, CSB, different versions of the Bible, and even since back, 200 years ago, I mean, they're translating this word then enjoy it. Just enjoy it. All the scholars agree that that's a good rendition of what he's talking about here. Just experience your life, experience it, enjoy, appreciate your life with your wife.
Yeah. And it seems like we make a conscious effort, because like you were saying, Solomon went through all of life accomplishing all these great things, but forgetting to make the conscious effort to enjoy it as you go.
So make a plan. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. Absolutely. If you look at enjoy life, because point one would be to me, okay, he's saying here that we need to enjoy life. So with your wife, not just enjoy life, but enjoy life with your wife. There's the with factor. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But to enjoy it, I mean, I would say that probably every single different person might enjoy life a little bit differently. So some people might enjoy sitting around binge watching Netflix, which I would never be able to wrap my mind around because I would enjoy life moving.
Yeah.
I enjoy life being out. I like to see things. I like to see what's around me. I like to experience things. I like to, I'm the guy that likes to go in the store and, I want to touch it. I want to see it. I want to see what it's really like. Yeah. So ordering online, I do it, but I mean, it's not like, I'd be the touch everything guy. Yeah.
Right, yeah, for sure. And that's too where you find your common interests, things that you enjoy doing together, as opposed to, well, I like to do this, so you're going to come along for the ride, whether you like it or not, because I'm enjoying life,
Yes,
so,
you should.
Yeah, definitely finding things that you'd like to do together and then doing it, making a plan, a conscious effort to do it. Because I think so many times we do get so busy with the things that have to get done, even if it's stuff at home, yard work or whatever, that, you work all day and then you get to the end of the day and you're just exhausted and, you crash, as opposed to saying, no, we're going to step away from the work. It'll still be there when we get back, and let's go do something fun. Like the other evening, we just went for a hike just for a couple hours, but it was fun, and the work's still there when you get back.
It's still there. actually. So I still have a garden to weed this weekend. At some point, I was thinking about that. Yeah. But you got to go back, work on your trails a little bit more with the brush hog. Got to do that. I got a wedding. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. But in between, we do make a plan.
Yep.
That certain nights, well, we're going to do this and this on these nights. And then other nights, we know we have ministry responsibilities. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. But yeah, you got to have fun and you've got to enjoy it. And I think, too, even little things that make life better. I was just thinking about it because I was taking a sip of coffee, the delicious coffee that you made me earlier today. And you wanted a Burr coffee grinder.
I did.
So I found you a nice Burr coffee grinder because that makes your life a little bit nicer.
Yes, that was my Christmas request.
It was your Christmas
Something
request.
I wouldn't buy for myself, but I always look. I had one in my cart for 2 years, just my save for later because I wasn't going to buy it. But I asked Bill for one for Christmas, and he'll research and get in there and find exactly what's the best. So
and has it made your life a little bit more enjoyable?
Every morning I just push that button, down it goes.
Right. Has it made the coffee tastier?
Well, yeah, I love it.
Absolutely, and has made life a little bit better. And that's just a little thing. Because sometimes I think that we deprive ourselves at times. And I'm not saying, spend every time you have. I would not recommend that. But on the other hand, a $100 investment, $80 investment, $200 investment, whatever, from time to time on something that you're going to use over and over and over again, that's going to make your life a little bit more enjoyable to have a nice, delicious cup of coffee in the morning.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So enjoy life.
Worth every penny.
Right. And I think, again, just having fun, too. Just doing things like you said, I can't just do things. The things that I think are fun, like running and exercise, you're not into. So I do that on my own.
Just say no to exercise.
Right. And it doesn't really interfere with you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting up and going and I'm out running and I'll do my thing. But so we don't do every single thing together. However, we make time to do things with your wife. Right? Right. Now, he says that it's with the wife that you love. And I want to go back to that. Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love, I guess, as opposed to the others.
Yeah. There aren't any others. Well, I like that the Bible assumes that you do love your wife.
Right. Well, you better love your wife. I mean, I think that you should, because it says here it's enjoy life with your wife, that your wife is a gift. And by the way, I think it goes both ways. I mean, I think it says to the guy, enjoy life with your wife. It's not saying the wife shouldn't enjoy life with her husband.
Well, I think it's written by Solomon, so he's talking from
his perspective. Right. But it goes both ways is what I'm saying. We want to be, the with factor goes both ways. So what are some things that we like doing with each other, like we do together?
Well, we like kayaking.
Right.
Yeah, we like that a lot. And we do that a lot. Even yard sailing. We like to go yard sailing and just do different things. Go hiking.
Right.
We enjoy that.
Yeah, I would say those are probably the big ones. When you think about summer, I mean, if we get a chance to sit on the deck and look at things, we'll do that and sip a tea. Because I keep, one thing I do to enjoy life is just keep every weekend, I fill a cooler full of iced tea, water, pot for the kids. So anybody who wants to come by, if Cassie stops by, I have in there what she likes. I put in what Luke likes. I put in what you like. I put in what I like.
Yeah. If you're driving by, stop at the deck and grab a drink.
Mark, he's producing a show. If you're thirsty and driving by the house on a Saturday, there's usually
back deck,
a cooler full of cold drinks. But yeah, I do it because I like to do that. So yeah, I mean, to sit down and enjoy life too. I mean, obviously we're pretty busy, but we still make time. I would say kayaking is something we do together. Hiking is something that we do together.
Yep.
Those are two big ones. Yep. Some service too, like we met with a couple getting ready for marriage who did that together. Right. But that you have to have that. I really do think so.
I even enjoy doing yard work together. I mean, it's not like a fun thing, but I think that you can also find joy in your work.
Right. Well, there's got to be companionship too. You think about the with factor again. The with factor is one of my favorite things about marriage, to have somebody to do things with. And I think it definitely makes two are better than one. So it makes life great to be able to be with. But to me, to forget that you're supposed to be with together, because or with each other, the purpose of marriage is companionship.
Yes,
God made you, made a wife to be a companion. She was designed by God to be a companion to her husband. So when you think about it from that perspective, the guy's always busy and he's not paying attention to her, and he's always out hunting and fishing, and he does everything with his buddies. And he doesn't do stuff with his wife, which I appreciate. Solomon said, no, enjoy life with your wife. Don't leave her behind with her. You're going to leave a big part of your wife unfulfilled if you do not spend time with her, since she was uniquely designed to be your companion. and you're not allowing her to fulfill a function that God instilled into there, she's going to feel that. If you're not, no, I see the happy marriages are the ones they're together. Yeah. You see pictures of them together. You know, you see they share pictures from 3-4 years ago of them being together. Mm-hmm. You know that they're together. You see them do things together. Sometimes you're with them when they're together. It's great. I that's what I love to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you think too, like when you first met and started dating, you did things together. You enjoyed each other's company. It's the reason that you got married to begin with.
Right.
And sometimes you just see that fade away or distance grow between one another. Whereas we need to make that conscious effort to constantly be building up the relationship, to constantly be fulfilling each other in the things that we do and spending time together.
Right. Because it's not rocket science. I mean, when you think about marriage, simple. Like I tell people all the time, it's not rocket science. And sometimes when I see marriages struggling, a lot of times the wife will tell the husband over and over again, we're not spending time, we're not talking, we're not connecting, because she wants to connect with her husband, and the husband's doing a million other things and he's not really connecting. You got to listen to that. Like that gets to be super serious after a while, where I'm looking at, this is easy. All you need to do is listen to her, spend some time with her, make her feel important and special. It says right here, enjoy life, for one thing, with your wife, whom you love.
Yes.
So how do you experience, like, for me to love you as a woman, how would you experience that? And maybe every woman's different because there's service and words of affirmation. And
I mean, how do I know that you love me?
How do you want it? Yeah. How do you?
I know. I mean, you tell me all the time. You want to spend time with me. You're always after me.
Right.
Constantly.
Yeah. All the time.
And you want me to be with you. Like if you're going to go kayaking, you want me to come.
Right.
Along with you. And some nights, like the other night we went, I was just sharing with the couple last night, you know, that when you wanted to go kayaking the other evening, I was kind of like, I feel tired. I don't really know that I feel like going.
Right.
But I want to go to be with you. And once I get out there, I love it. You know, sometimes it's just getting out the door.
Right.
You know, that can be hard after a long day. But just that being together.
I guess, yeah. I guess important. I was just asking, what do you want me to do?
Well, I don't know. I like that.
Right.
I can't think of anything at the moment. Right. I'm pressured. I'm under pressure. What do I can't think of anything.
Well, you might think about it in a second. I think one of the things for me, I think the challenge is when I think about loving, I think about, and, you know, Lord's been, you know, kind of proud in my heart about this, is just being unselfish. Is just doing that extra thing to help you out. In other words, okay, I can make 2 trips, you know, not just 1 trip from the kitchen to the living room. I'll go back and get other stuff too.
Oh, like as far as setting up to eat or something.
To eat, or when the groceries are coming in, or hey, I want you to move this box, or whatever it is, just to be unselfish and not think of myself and to think of you. I think that's a huge part of love too.
It is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life is made up of little things, and if I can do those little things to show you that I love you, that's something I really have to keep in mind. And also, even one thing I put down here as a question, which you already made a reference to, is what about pursuit? Now, I don't mean like a sexual pursuit only, although that's an important one. I think the pursuit of, if you're upset, do you want me to pursue you? Even if you're like, no, I don't want to go with you because I don't like what you said to me this morning, but I'm going to keep pursuing you. Come on.
Right.
Do you like that or no? Do you not like that?
Yeah, it's good because then I know that you love me, you care. You were just cranky or irritable.
Right. Because the other day I had errands to run. I had to go into town and get something. I wanted you to go. You told me you didn't want to go with me because I was cranky.
Because you were short with me when we were unloading the kayaks.
Right. So I was short with you. Right.
That's probably my biggest thing. It just hurt my back.
Yeah, the way you were working against me.
I'm like,
just
help.
Let me do it. You were trying to help. It's just easier sometimes to do it yourself, I think, at some points, because there were certain things I was trying to do.
Even though every other time we do it together.
I know, but it did wrench. It wrenched. Yeah, I was trying a new thing. It was wrenched my back. But anyway, but I still pursued you throughout the day.
Yeah,
and
I ended up going, even though twice I said,
no.
I'm not
Then
going.
I asked you again. Come on, I really want you to go. Then I stopped by the house. I didn't even ask. Come on, just go. But I was just kind of curious when I was writing the show. Do you appreciate it, even if you're a little bit mad that I pursue you? And okay,
because I actually was waiting. Is he going to come a third time and ask?
Well, it's a good thing
I got ready to go just in case.
All right, here's another thing I think for this. Okay, so enjoy life. Again, this is why this is such a great theme verse. Enjoy life with your wife whom you love. So we got to love each other. We got to be with each other. We got to enjoy each other. all the days of the meaningless life that God has given you under the sun, all the meaningless days, for this is your lot in your toilsome labor under the sun. Now, one of the things that we have to recognize is life is not all fun and games.
Right.
There is work to be done. Some of that work is hard and laborious and things like that. And I really believe that in marriage, that working hard builds respect, and we all need to push. Like, I don't believe it would be a good thing in marriage if the wife sits back and realizes, my husband's not really a hard worker.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
he's
that
not
would not
really
be good.
putting the family first. He doesn't really care about fixing things. He doesn't care about how the property looks. He doesn't really seem to want to help do anything or get out of his own way. I think the toilsome labor, like, to me, that's part of love, is when a woman can see her man working hard and knowing that he's pushing for that family.
Taking care of the family. Yeah. And I think it goes both ways, too. I mean, I've seen
Agreed.
marriages where the wife doesn't even work. She's home all day, and then she just waits for the husband to get home from work to fix dinner and pick up. And it's like, no, there has to be both of you together working, because it's a group effort.
Right.
I think that with everything that we do, it's a joint effort for a common goal.
Right. Work is part of life. And
It
work
is.
is part of life. Even before the fall of man, before the curse, Adam was put here to tend to that garden,
Yep.
the Garden of Eden. And so when you look at, a lot of times people say, well, work is a 4-letter word. Work is part of life, and life wouldn't be the same without it. Life wouldn't be the same without responsibility. Life wouldn't be the same without, for you, yeah, laundry is probably not the funnest thing that you have to do, but it also can pile up. And maybe,
Right.
dusting cobwebs out of the corners of the rooms, not the funnest thing to do, and I get that. But it still needs to be done. It has to be done. And I think that if you're with somebody who you find is not, they don't practice this toilsome thing. It says, in your toilsome labor under the sun. And we're not all in it together where we're actually toiling and working hard. I think that there would be a loss of respect there.
Yeah, and there would be a frustration on the part of your spouse.
Right.
If they feel like they have to do everything.
Right, I would agree. And I would also like to add in here that we need to make God a part of this, because again, it says in verse 9, enjoy life with the wife you love all the days of your fleeting life, which has been given to you. Who gave us this life?
Yeah, God did.
Right. God did. And there's a verse in here in Ecclesiastes where he basically said, without God, it's impossible to enjoy life. It's impossible to fully appreciate it, because he's the one that allows you to work. Because he says, if you can work and find satisfaction in your work and happiness there, that's a gift of God, without whom it would be impossible to do. Right. So I look at life and realizing that part of marriage, too, is keeping God at the center. And sometimes in the relationships that I see beginning to struggle, they don't really have that common core of faith. They don't have that common core that kind of binds them together. And sometimes you'll see the guy coming to church without the wife, or the wife coming to church without the guy. The wheels start to fall off at times because they're not both really committed to at least a search to say, what about the spiritual side of mankind? What about our spiritual side and what we're doing?
Yeah. It's important because, if you have that common goal to follow God, and also just the common convictions on things that are right and wrong and things that are important, it gives you more unity in your marriage.
Yeah, I think coming to church together is something, that
huge.
we've always done in the family. I think it was definitely a family hub for us. And our children all still go to church. I mean, it was an important part. And 2 of our children actually go to Eagleville, which is nice. They've grown up and they're adults now, and the one lives in Virginia, so she can't come here. But us as a couple, there's certain things that we do together. Certain Wednesday nights we're both out because, you're teaching kids and I'm teaching a Bible study up in the north.
Yep.
We did it up in the Ashtabula area city schools in the area intermediate. We were doing that, and I thought that was pretty cool, and that was something that we could do together. But I've always felt that Christ has helped me to behave myself. Yeah. And when Christ helps me to behave myself and I'm behaving myself, that's better for marriage.
It is, because it keeps you on the right path. One thing I was going to say, too, people might think, oh, of course you guys do ministry together. You're in the ministry. But when we were first married, you know, we were just working, and we were still involved in ministry together.
Right.
Because it's important, you know, ministering to kids or whatever you do.
Right. No, do it together. Yeah. So enjoy life. This is what we're saying today. Enjoy life, love each other, work hard, and make God the center of your life, and your marriage will go a whole lot better. Hope you have a great and blessed week.